Have you ever questioned who actually owns what percentage of a song when involving more than one person? How the songwriting credits are determined? What percentages are owned? Well, stay tuned as we look to simplify the process. Scenario 1. This is for songwriters who do not play an instrument, but you wrote the lyrics and the melody. The song is 100% yours. A song is made up of 50% lyric and 50% melody. You are both the author, lyrics, and the composer, melody. When preparing to make a demonstration record or demo of your song, I've stressed this so many times before, please prepare the proper paperwork before the session begins. Make sure that the musician understands that he or she is being hired as a studio musician to record music to an existing song. The songwriter can do a work for hire agreement. If the songwriter decides to negotiate a percentage of ownership in the song with the musician, they can do that. This leads to the next scenario. Musicians who are hired to add accompaniment to a song already written is called arranging. Arrangers are added all the time, such as string arrangers, horn arrangers, or arrangers for big bands or band. Do you own a percentage of the copyright because you are an arranger? Well, it depends. What does it depend on? Number one, it depends on how the musician was hired. It depends on what was discussed before the session began. If, in fact, a musician was hired as an arranger to add accompaniment or musical arrangement to an existing song, melody and lyric, as work for hire, the musician is then paid for their work. But the ownership of the intellectual property, the copyright, belongs to the songwriter who wrote the song. Number two, if the songwriter spoke to a musician concerning adding accompaniment to the pre-existing song and agreed to give a percentage of ownership of the intellectual property, then, in that case, the musician becomes part owner of the song. The percentage depends on what was discussed and agreed to. It does not automatically happen. Adding progressions and chords to a pre-existing melody and lyric does not automatically give a musician part ownership of a pre-existing song. Number three, producers, musicians, and/or beat makers who compose music. The chords, progressions, beats, and arrangements are already made. They bring in a songwriter who listens to the pre-existing music, and the songwriter writes the melody and lyric. Then the producer, musicians, and/or beat makers do own a percentage of the copyright because the songwriter wrote based off of it. The percentage should split 50% each, but can be different according to the agreements made. Scenario number three. When no agreement was made, no one discussed anything, and a songwriter wrote a song and worked with musicians, usually it ends in a lot of arguing. Avoid this by handling your business properly. If you didn't know, go back and work to amicably come up with a mutually beneficial agreement between all parties. Sign the song split sheets and work to do better in your future endeavors.